Wrestling fans are some of the most passionate people on earth. And trust me, I know, I'm one of them. Every day, the internet wrestling community, better known as the IWC, explodes with hot takes. Reddit threads, Twitter posts, YouTube comments. Everyone has an opinion on what WWE should do. But here's the truth. Triple H, as WWE's chief content officer, simply cannot book the show based on IWC demands. If he did, WWE's storytelling would collapse under its own weight. Today, we're going to break down exactly why Triple H should not listen blindly to the IWC, using examples that prove the point. From John Cena's failed heel run, to the curious case of Karrion Kross, to the internet turning on Jey Uso, and even The Rock clashing with Triple H backstage, it's all proof that creative direction must come from vision, not just fan noise. Before we dig into examples, let's define what the IWC actually is. The internet wrestling community is made up of hardcore wrestling fans, the ones who analyze every booking decision like it's an exam. They compare Raw to AEW Dynamite, count star ratings, and fantasy book their dream shows online. Now, this group is important. They keep wrestling buzzing online. They keep the conversation alive. But here's the key point, the IWC does not represent the entire WWE fanbase. Most WWE viewers? They're casual fans. Families who bring their kids to live shows. College kids who throw on Raw while studying. Adults seeking a fun escape after work. These people aren't on Reddit arguing over whether Io Sky should have been booked stronger in the Women's Royal Rumble. They just want to see their favorite stars perform and be entertained. That difference matters. Because when Triple H makes decisions, he can't just book for the small fraction of hardcore voices, he has to think about the millions worldwide who tune in every week. History proves fans don't always know what works. Let's get something straight, the IWC has been right before. Daniel Bryan's rise to WrestleMania 30? The internet's voice helped make that possible. LA Knight's surge? Same thing. But for every Daniel Bryan, there's a Karrion Kross. At SummerSlam, fans chanted "We want Kross" so loudly during the post-show panel that it made headlines. Triple H, caught off guard, even joked by twisting it into "We want Brock." That was funny, but also revealing. Despite the IWC's support, reports came out just days later that Kross's contract had expired, with no new deal signed. His momentum stalled, his TV time dropped, and the push that fans demanded simply didn't work out. This is the classic IWC trap, demanding someone get pushed, only to watch the excitement fade when it happens. And WWE has seen it time and time again, Zack Ryder years ago, Mustafa Ali, and even Ricochet to an extent. Great in-ring performers, but not everyone connects as a long-term top star. Triple H knows this. That's why he can't just follow fan chants blindly, because not every online favorite will translate to ticket sales, merch moves, or mainstream star power. Creative vision versus reactionary booking. One of Triple H's biggest strengths is long-term storytelling. We've seen this with the Bloodline saga, which even in 2025, remains WWE's crown jewel. It's a slow burn. It's layered. It has twists and turns that pay off months, sometimes years later. But here's the issue. If Triple H booked based solely on the IWC's reactions, that kind of storytelling would be impossible. Every time Reddit got mad, the story would change direction. Every time Twitter trended, the script would be rewritten. Look at the John Cena heel turn earlier this year. Fans online begged for it for years. WWE finally pulled the trigger, making him a villain for the first time in decades. At first, the internet celebrated. But within months, the heel turn flopped. Fans in arenas didn't want to boo him, they wanted to cheer for him during his farewell run. The storyline had to be abandoned. Cena went back to being the beloved babyface because that's what truly worked for the audience. This is why Triple H has to protect creative vision. Booking a wrestling show isn't about chasing trends, it's about telling stories that stick. And reacting only to the IWC is like trying to write a TV series based on angry Twitter comments. It just doesn't work. The contradictions of the IWC. The IWC has another problem, it's never satisfied. Take Jey Uso's Royal Rumble win. The live crowd reaction was insane, fans popped huge for Jey finally getting his moment. But by the time people got online, the mood shifted. Reddit threads claimed it was predictable, Twitter said it should have gone to Gunther or Braun Breaker, and suddenly Jey's win didn't feel special enough. But inside arenas? Jey Uso remains one of WWE's most popular stars. Fans sing his theme song, he's selling merch, and he's over. This contradiction is common. The internet hypes someone up, but when they actually succeed, they turn on them. It happened to Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and now Jey Uso. Triple H knows this cycle. If he books just to make the IWC happy, he's only setting up WWE for the next round of complaints. Because as soon as the IWC gets what it wants, it starts wanting something else. Casual fans drive WWE's success. This might be the most important point of all. WWE is not just a wrestling company, it's global entertainment. The IWC sometimes forgets this. But WWE's true business comes from casual fans. The ones who buy tickets for WrestleMania without knowing every NXT call-up. The families who subscribe to Netflix now that Raw is streaming there. The kids who want a John Cena shirt. That's who pays the bills. That's who keeps the company thriving. Look at WWE's deal with Netflix. That partnership wasn't built to please hardcore fans arguing about work rate, it was built to bring millions of new casual viewers into the product. Triple H's creative vision reflects that, with storylines that appeal on a mainstream level, not just inside wrestling Twitter bubbles. If he ignored that in favor of the IWC, WWE would risk losing the exact audience that keeps it alive. Balance is the key. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Triple H should completely ignore the IWC. Hardcore fans do matter. They create buzz online, they spot potential early, and they can help elevate a talent who deserves it. LA Knight is the perfect modern example. He started as an internet favorite, but the difference was, he connected in arenas too. The cheers, the catchphrases, the merchandise sales. That's when WWE knew it was real, and they leaned into it. Another great example is Jacob Fadu's debut with the Bloodline. The IWC was hyped from the moment his signing was rumored, but what made it work is that casual fans immediately bought in too. His presence added a fresh spark to the Bloodline saga, one of WWE's biggest stories. It wasn't just an online pop, it translated into live reactions, storyline depth, and legit star power. This is where Triple H is smart. He listens, but he filters. He uses the IWC as a thermometer, testing if something is catching fire. But he doesn't make it the blueprint. Creative missteps happen, and they're not the IWC's fault. Of course, even Triple H gets it wrong sometimes. Not every decision hits the mark. In 2025 alone, we've seen some head-scratching creative calls. Charlotte Flair winning another Royal Rumble felt too predictable. Io Sky being left out of major matches disappointed fans. And John Cena's heel run, like I mentioned earlier, fizzled almost immediately. But here's the thing, these weren't just internet mistakes. They were creative experiments that didn't land. That's part of running a massive wrestling company. You take risks, some fail, and you adjust. If WWE had been chasing the IWC's every demand on top of that, the failures would have been even bigger, because they'd lack any long-term vision behind them. Creative clashes prove WWE needs stability. One last point to drive this home, even backstage, WWE leadership has clashed over direction. Reports suggested Triple H and The Rock had heated arguments over creative, particularly around Backlash. The Rock wanted the Bloodline front and center, while Triple H wanted to spotlight newer stars like Braun Breaker. This shows the real struggle, even top leaders don't always agree. So, imagine if Triple H had to also bow down to the IWC's endless noise. There'd be no stability at all. That's why his job is to balance vision, talent, business, and yes, fan feedback. But the IWC can never be the steering wheel. At most, they're a loud GPS in the passenger seat. So, let's wrap this up. Triple H cannot book WWE just for the IWC, and this year proves it more than ever. The IWC doesn't represent the whole fanbase. History shows their demands often flop when executed. Reactionary booking ruins long-term storytelling. The IWC constantly contradicts itself, like with Jey Uso. Casual fans are the true business driver, especially with Netflix. Balance works best, use IWC as feedback, not the foundation. Missteps will happen regardless, but long-term vision matters more. Even backstage, creative clashes show the importance of leadership over chaos. At the end of the day, WWE thrives when it feels big, consistent, and mainstream. The IWC can shout, argue, and fantasy book all day, but Triple H's job is to trust his creative vision and deliver for the millions watching around the world, not just the thousands tweeting online. And that's why Triple H should never book WWE just to please the IWC.